Teeth like knives, a bite stronger than a shark's, and a hunger that knows no limits. This is the most dangerous and deadliest piranha in the world. Are you ready to face it? Beneath the murky waters of the Amazon lurks a true river terror, the black piranha. This is no ordinary fish. It's the most dangerous piranha in the world, a ruthless hunter with the strongest bite of any animal for its size. Armed with razor-sharp teeth, a jaw built for destruction, and an aggressive territorial nature, it's the undisputed menace of the jungle waters. This isn't just a legend, it's a predator feared by everything around it. And now, you're about to find out why. There's a reason the black piranha's bite is legendary. It's not just the sharpness of its teeth, it's the sheer crushing power behind them. Scientists studying piranha bite force have discovered something shocking, pound for pound. This fish has the strongest bite of any living creature, even stronger than a great white shark, a crocodile, or a jaguar. A black piranha weighing just a few pounds can generate a force of nearly 70 pounds per square inch, enough to crush bone with a single snap. That's like slamming a hammer down with full force, but from a fish the size of a dinner plate. The secret lies in its massive jaw muscles, which make up almost half its head, giving it a mechanical advantage far beyond what you'd expect from a fish this size. Unlike most fish that rely on speed, numbers, or stealth to catch prey, the black piranha only needs one precise, devastating chomp. Flesh, bone, cartilage, none of it stands a chance. One bite is all it takes. But raw power isn't the only reason the black piranha's bite is so feared. The true horror lies in its teeth. Each one is a perfect curved blade, serrated like a mini chainsaw and designed to slice through flesh with surgical precision. When a piranha bites, it's not just crushing, it's shearing straight through, leaving nothing but a gaping wound in its wake. And here's the real nightmare: their teeth never stop growing. While most fish replace individual teeth over time, piranhas do it differently. They shed and regrow an entire row of teeth all at once, ensuring their bite is always at peak lethality. If a tooth breaks, a whole new row immediately moves forward, sharper than before. This unique adaptation keeps their bite deadly at all times with no weak spots or worn edges. In the wild, even when they're not hunting, piranhas gnaw on wood and bone just to keep their teeth in top shape, like a blade being sharpened constantly. It's nature's perfect cutting tool, and it never dulls. Can a piranha bite through steel? With razor-sharp, ever-growing teeth and bone-crushing force, it's no wonder people believe piranhas can bite through steel. But how true is it? While a piranha's bite won't slice clean through a metal rod, they can easily tear through softer metals like aluminum. And there are documented cases of piranhas biting through thick fishing hooks and wire traps as if they were nothing. Fishermen in the Amazon report that even their metal boat paddles sometimes come back with deep gouges from curious or aggressive piranhas. In some experiments, piranhas have even been observed biting through thin sheets of tin, proving that their bite is far stronger than many expect. But the real horror isn't whether they can chew through steel, it's how easily they can slice through flesh and bone. A single piranha could take off a fingertip in a fraction of a second, while a feeding school can strip an animal to the bone in minutes. And that's where things get truly terrifying. What happens when an entire swarm attacks at once? A single black piranha is a powerful predator, but a swarm of them? That's where the nightmare begins. When these fish attack in numbers, the river transforms into a churning mass of snapping jaws, and whatever is caught in it doesn't stand a chance. It all happens in seconds. The first bite is all it takes. The moment one piranha sinks its teeth into prey, it releases signals into the water, chemical cues that trigger an instant reaction from the rest of the school. What follows is a blur of flashing teeth, flesh being torn away in chunks, and a frenzy so fast that the water itself seems to boil. Large animals like capybaras, caimans, or even jaguars that make the mistake of wading into the wrong waters can be stripped to bone in minutes. And the worst part? The victim is often still alive when it happens. Piranhas don't wait for their prey to die. They attack with terrifying precision, targeting muscle, soft tissue, and organs first, leaving the hardest parts for last. But what makes this coordinated assault possible? How do they sense weakness with such deadly accuracy? The answer lies in something invisible but incredibly powerful: their ability to detect blood. Piranhas don't need to see their prey. They don't need to hear it. They can smell its fear. Their sense of smell is so advanced that they can detect a single drop of blood in thousands of gallons of water. But it's not just blood that triggers them. These fish can sense subtle chemical changes in the water, the stress hormones released by injured or panicked creatures. This ability makes them one of the most efficient scavengers in the wild, zeroing in on dying fish, wounded animals, or anything struggling to stay afloat. Even the vibrations of a struggling fish send signals that piranhas can detect from far away. In the Amazon, locals believe that even urinating in the water can attract piranhas, since they associate certain chemical compounds with injury or weakness. And while they won't attack healthy humans for no reason, anyone with an open wound, a fresh cut, or even just a nosebleed in piranha-infested waters is taking a serious risk. But their ability to sense prey isn't their only hidden weapon. Piranhas don't just attack as a wild, mindless swarm, they coordinate, communicate, and hunt with eerie precision. The piranha's secret weapon. A piranha's greatest weapon isn't just its bite, it's its intelligence. These aren't mindless killers acting on instinct alone. Piranhas are highly social predators, and they have a secret advantage most people don't know about. They talk to each other. Not with words, of course, but with sound, body language, and even vibrations in the water. Scientists have discovered that piranhas use different voices for different situations. When they sense danger, they produce rapid clicking sounds, warning the rest of the school to stay alert. When they're preparing to attack, they make deep, low grunts, signaling to others that the hunt is on. And when two piranhas challenge each other over food, territory, or dominance, they create a loud, drum-like vibration in the water, almost like a war cry. This communication makes them one of the most synchronized predators in any freshwater ecosystem. They don't just swarm randomly, they coordinate their movements, focus their attacks, and overwhelm prey with terrifying efficiency. But this ability doesn't just help them hunt, it also plays a role in one of the most shocking aspects of their nature. Because when food is scarce and desperation sets in, piranhas turn on their own. Do piranhas eat each other? Piranhas may be ruthless hunters, but their most chilling trait is what happens when food runs out. They eat each other. It's not just an occasional fight over food, cannibalism is built into their survival strategy. When prey is scarce, the strongest piranhas turn on the weaker ones, tearing into them with the same precision they use on any other victim. In the wild, this happens most often in the dry season. When water levels drop, prey becomes harder to find, and thousands of piranhas are suddenly trapped together in shrinking pools. At first they pick off injured or sick members of their own school, but as hunger grows, the frenzy escalates, and the weak are devoured. Even in captivity, when piranhas are underfed, larger individuals have been observed biting chunks out of their tank mates, sometimes killing them outright. This brutal self-regulation ensures that only the fittest survive. But what happens when the water keeps disappearing? How do they endure when their home turns into little more than a muddy, oxygen-starved pool? Surviving a drought. When the Amazon dries up, many fish perish in the heat, but not piranhas. They have evolved to withstand extreme conditions that would kill most other creatures. As rivers shrink, piranhas become more aggressive, more desperate, and more willing to eat anything, including their own kind. But their survival instincts go even further. Piranhas can slow their metabolism, allowing them to survive in stagnant, low-oxygen water for long periods. Some even burrow into the mud, remaining hidden until the rains return. Fishermen in drought-stricken regions have reported digging into dry riverbeds only to find live piranhas buried beneath the surface, waiting for water to return. This remarkable ability makes them one of the most resilient predators in freshwater ecosystems. They don't just survive harsh conditions, they thrive in them. But what about the most feared scenario? What if someone ends up in the water during a bad season, when piranhas are starving and on edge? Do piranhas attack humans? Piranhas have a terrifying reputation, but how much of it is real? The truth is, piranhas don't typically hunt humans, but that doesn't mean they're harmless. Most of the time, people swimming near piranhas go completely unnoticed. They're far more likely to flee than fight, but under the wrong conditions, they will attack. The most dangerous times are during the dry season, when food is scarce, and during breeding season, when piranhas become extremely territorial. There have been documented cases of people being bitten after disturbing piranha nests, stepping into the wrong waters, or entering a school of frenzied, starving fish. The bites are fast, surgical, and incredibly painful, often leaving deep, clean wounds that bleed heavily. While fatal attacks are rare, they have happened, especially to children or injured individuals unable to escape the water quickly. The horror stories of people being stripped to the bone in seconds, that only happens if the person is already dead or dying when the piranhas arrive, but the fact remains, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you will get bitten. And these aggressive instincts didn't develop overnight. They have been sharpened over millions of years of evolution, turning piranhas into one of nature's most efficient killing machines. How did piranhas become so dangerous? Piranhas didn't become ruthless predators overnight. Their abilities have been shaped by millions of years of brutal survival. Their ancestors date back over 25 million years, to a time when prehistoric rivers were filled with giant, terrifying creatures. The ancient megapiranha, which lived around 8 million years ago, was nearly 3 feet long, twice the size of modern piranhas, and had a bite force that could crush bone in an instant. Fossil evidence suggests these ancient piranhas weren't just scavengers or opportunistic hunters. They were apex predators in their own right. Over time, their descendants became smaller, faster, and even deadlier, evolving their razor-sharp teeth, bone-crushing jaws, and swarm tactics that make them so feared today. One of the biggest evolutionary advantages piranhas developed is their perfectly designed teeth. Unlike most fish, whose teeth wear down over time, piranhas evolved a system where entire rows of teeth are replaced all at once, ensuring their bite is always at peak efficiency. This means they never go dull, never lose their cutting power, and never stop being a threat. Their extraordinary metabolism and ability to survive in extreme conditions also evolved out of necessity. Living in flood-prone, ever-changing river systems, they had to adapt to survive both feast and famine. This led to their ability to slow their metabolism, endure low-oxygen waters, and even resort to cannibalism when food is scarce. You've seen the deadly side of piranhas, but that's only half the story. These creatures are full of surprises, from vegetarian species to their role in the ecosystem and tribes of South America. Ready for the wildest piranha facts? The vegetarian species. Not all piranhas are flesh-eating predators. Some are completely herbivorous, feeding only on plants. One of the most fascinating examples is the Tometes camunani, a piranha species that doesn't hunt but instead grazes on river vegetation. Found in the rocky rapids of the Amazon, this species relies on aquatic plants, algae, and seeds as its main food source. Its broad, flat teeth are perfectly adapted for grinding tough plant matter instead of tearing into flesh. This might seem unusual for a species so closely related to one of the most feared carnivores, but it actually plays an important role in the ecosystem, helping control overgrown aquatic vegetation and maintaining balance in the rivers. Even more surprising is that some omnivorous piranhas, like the famous red-bellied piranha, also incorporate fruits, nuts, and seeds into their diet. During certain seasons, they are seen feeding on fallen tree fruits, proving that their diet is more flexible than many believe. Scientists have even observed piranhas acting as seed dispersers, unintentionally spreading plant life as they move through the water. This ability to adapt to available food sources is one of the reasons piranhas have thrived for millions of years. While their razor-sharp teeth are built for slicing through flesh, some species have evolved to use them in completely different ways. But it's not just their diets that are surprising. Some piranhas are also shockingly beautiful. When people think of piranhas, they usually imagine dark, menacing fish lurking in murky waters. But in reality, some piranha species are unexpectedly stunning, featuring brilliant metallic hues, fiery reds, and even golden scales that shimmer in the sunlight. One of the most visually striking species is the ruby-red Pygocentris cariba, which has an intensely bright red belly contrasting against its sleek silver body. Another standout is the golden piranha, whose scales sparkle like liquid gold, giving it an almost surreal appearance. Even the feared red-bellied piranha has a beautiful side. Its deep crimson underside and silver-flecked body catch the light in mesmerizing ways, making it a favorite among aquarium enthusiasts. But these vivid colors aren't just for show. They serve important survival functions. Some piranhas use their coloration to attract mates, with males developing deeper reds and oranges during the breeding season. Others use their colors for camouflage, blending with the shimmering water to avoid predators. This makes piranhas not only deadly predators, but also unexpectedly beautiful creatures with an evolutionary edge. Piranhas may have a fearsome reputation, but they're also smart, social, and highly strategic. Unlike many fish that simply follow instincts, piranhas communicate with each other using body movements and even low-frequency sounds. Scientists have recorded them making grunts, barks, and drum-like noises to warn others about predators, defend territory, or even establish dominance in a group. They also display complex problem-solving skills, using coordinated movements to herd prey or protect their young. In the wild, they often avoid unnecessary fights, choosing to intimidate rivals with posturing and sound rather than wasting energy in direct combat. In captivity, they quickly learn to recognize their owners, displaying excitement when it's feeding time. These aren't just mindless killers. They're highly aware, calculated, and far more intelligent than most people think. But despite their cleverness, even piranhas have to watch their backs, because in the wild, plenty of creatures are hunting them. Piranhas may be great hunters, but they are far from invincible. In the Amazon, where predators lurk at every turn, piranhas are often the hunted, rather than the hunters. One of their most dangerous enemies is the black caiman, a massive reptile that patrols the same waters, capable of swallowing entire schools of piranhas in a single feeding session. Amazon river dolphins, or botos, are also skilled piranha hunters, using their agility and strong jaws to snap them up with ease. Even some larger fish, like the peacock bass, won't hesitate to devour smaller piranhas when given the chance. But their biggest threat comes from above. Birds like herons and cormorants swoop down and snatch them right out of the water. Despite their sharp teeth and aggressive nature, piranhas have little defense against these skilled hunters. Their best survival tactic is speed and numbers. By staying in groups, they reduce the chances of being singled out. Some species have even been observed staying close to larger fish or hiding in aquatic plants to avoid detection. But even in the wild, their biggest predator is often humans. Many fish enthusiasts are fascinated by piranhas, drawn to their reputation as fierce predators. But keeping a piranha in an aquarium is not as easy as it sounds. These fish require large tanks, proper filtration, and carefully controlled water conditions to thrive. They are also highly territorial. Putting more than one in a confined space can lead to violent fights, even cannibalism. While young piranhas may seem timid, as they grow, they become more aggressive and unpredictable, making them difficult for inexperienced fish keepers to handle. Some species, like the red-bellied piranha, are legal to own in certain states, but many places ban them outright due to concerns about them being released into the wild. In fact, escaped or abandoned piranhas have been found in rivers, lakes, and ponds far outside their native habitat, where they can become an invasive threat to local ecosystems. Despite their challenges, piranhas remain a popular attraction in public aquariums, where they can be observed up close without the risk of missing fingers. It may surprise some, but in many parts of South America, piranhas are a common food source. Local fishermen catch them by the hundreds, serving them fried, grilled, or cooked into soups and stews. The taste? Most describe piranha meat as mild, flaky, and slightly sweet, similar to tilapia or perch. Despite their menacing appearance, their flesh is tender and flavorful, making them a sought-after dish in riverside communities. One of the most famous piranha-based dishes is piranha broth, believed by some Amazonian locals to have aphrodisiac properties. Others claim that eating piranha gives a person strength and stamina, an idea rooted in ancient folklore. However, catching and cooking them comes with its own risks. Their razor-sharp teeth remain dangerous even after death, and fishermen must be careful while handling them. Despite their role as both predator and prey, piranhas serve an even bigger purpose in their ecosystem, one that keeps their entire habitat in balance. Piranhas aren't just predators, they are key players in maintaining the health of their environment. As scavengers, they quickly consume sick, injured, or dead animals, preventing disease from spreading in the water. This makes them nature's cleanup crew, keeping rivers from becoming overrun with decaying matter. They also help control fish populations, ensuring that no single species dominates the ecosystem. But their role doesn't stop there. Some piranhas, especially omnivorous species, feed on fruits and seeds, unintentionally spreading plant life as they move through the water. This helps keep river vegetation diverse and thriving. Their presence also influences the behavior of other fish, forcing prey species to stay alert, move efficiently, and avoid overgrazing aquatic plants. Without piranhas, the Amazon's ecosystem would be less stable, more overrun with disease, and even out of balance. Though feared, These fish are crucial to the survival of the rivers they call home. For centuries, Amazonian tribes have respected and feared piranhas, seeing them as symbols of strength, danger, and survival. Some tribes use piranha teeth as tools, crafting them into knives, arrow tips, and even scissors due to their razor-sharp edges. Fishermen sometimes wear piranha jawbones as necklaces, believing they bring protection and hunting success. In certain rituals, warriors prove their courage by placing their hands in piranha-infested waters, trusting their ancestors to protect them. Some myths even claim that spirits of the river take the form of piranhas, punishing those who disrespect nature. Piranhas aren't just feared, they are also respected as powerful creatures that demand caution. Whether as weapons, symbols, or legends, these fish have woven themselves into the history and beliefs of Amazonian cultures, proving that their influence extends far beyond the river. Piranhas are native to South America, but over the years they have been spotted in places they don't belong, from rivers in the United States to lakes in Asia and Europe. But how did they get there? The answer is humans. Many piranhas have been introduced to foreign waters by exotic pet owners who release them once they become too aggressive or difficult to care for. Some were also accidentally transported through illegal wildlife trade, ending up in ecosystems far from their natural habitat. In some areas, piranhas failed to survive harsh winters, but in warmer climates they have thrived, disrupting local fish populations. Reports of piranhas in lakes and reservoirs in China, Bangladesh, and even Texas have raised concerns about them becoming invasive predators, competing with native species for food. While most isolated sightings don't lead to long-term infestations, experts warn that climate change could allow piranhas to expand into new territories. For now, piranhas remain Amazonian icons, but if they continue to spread, they could become an unexpected predator in waters far beyond South America. That's about it. Write in the comments which fact about piranhas surprised you the most. For more useful information, watch other videos.